Most people don't succeed because they don't take action. And the reason why they don't take action is because they don't have a big reason why. They're not driven. It's not a non-negotiable item. It's not a must. It's a nice to have in their life. Who came here to actually finally get something done? Finally to build that life that you want to build? Yes. Somebody asked me, like, Jack, why do you harp on the why so much? Because here's the thing. Nothing I talked about for the last 2 days matters if you don't have your why dialed in. I've been teaching this for 15 years. I can't tell you how many people come to us every single live event, and it happened this time again. They said, hey, I saw you 10 years ago, I did nothing, and I wish I would have done something now, but now it's urgent. And what does urgent mean? What's urgent another word for? Today. A big why. Urgent is another word for a big why. It becomes urgent when you have a big reason why you have to make it happen. You have some kind of a medical situation, you have a health or whatever, a financial situation, you have another business that you tried perhaps and that failed, as we had seen in the room. That happens, nobody plans for that, and now it becomes urgent. Well, guess what? If you don't make it urgent now, chances are you will do nothing. Right? In the very first slide, I had a disclaimer, right, that says most people don't succeed because they don't take action. And the reason why they don't take action is because they don't have a big reason why. They're not driven. It's not a non-negotiable item. It's not a must. It's a nice to have in their life. And what I've been trying to get you to over the last 2 days, and now again for the next 5 minutes, is just really tap into that why. If you have that why, it's not some woo-woo stuff. It's very, very simply. I mean, you guys all agreed with me. If like the New Year's resolution is lose weight, and the success rate is basically 0. But then when you go and you attach a big why, like a wedding, like attach something to it, all of a sudden the success rate becomes 100%. It's the same New Year's resolution, it's the same goal, it's the same plan. The difference is just very simply the big why. So please take that seriously and work on your why. So with that said, pull up your workbook again and review the goals that you've put in there. Review your year 1 plan and your year 3 to 5 and your 3 to 5 year vision. Add to them, go deeper. Ask yourself, why is this important? Like, what is your why? Like, have you stacked these whys? Have you found multiple of them? Like, put them together because it is absolutely crucial for your success. Otherwise, you literally just go and attend this event, you come out there motivated, you come out excited, you come back, and then life just continues, and there's not going to be a change in anything you do. And that's not why you came here, right? That's not why you came here. Who came here to actually finally get something done? Finally to build that life that you want to build. Yes, exactly. So let's look at this video and let's look at this one, and hopefully it runs without advertising.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1, and ding, 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 saved by the bell. He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, yep, that's it. What happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
You got to know your why. Buster Douglas was basically out, saved by the bell, 1 second left, and he was able to get up. He was able to get up, recover in the break between the rounds, and in that moment he had a choice. He had a choice to make. It's like, okay, do I go give in? This is it? But he remembered what he had promised his mom and what his mom had promised the world. And his why became stronger than any pain he was feeling. And with that, he was able to pull up. There's another boxing reference. I mean, obviously it's a movie, but Rocky II. In Rocky II, who likes Rocky, the Rocky movies, right? In Rocky II, there is, he fights the guy, the champion, because in Rocky I, he loses, right? But in Rocky II, it goes again to the 15th round, and he's down on the floor, and what's the other guy's name? Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed is like celebrating up there already, and then Rocky gets up one more time, and you can see in the eyes of this great acting, you see in the eyes of Apollo Creed, like almost like the defeat is like, oh my God, this guy is never going to give up. Right? Because he's like celebrating and he sees him coming up, and he literally, you see Apollo Creed's head going down. It's like, oh my God. And basically he defeated him morally before he defeated him personally, and then he goes and he beats him in the last round, and he becomes the champion, right? That's the thing. That's why, is because he had a bigger why. He promised his wife, he promised his family, he promised his things. So make sure that the reason why, that's not a joke, guys. This reason why is what counts. I had a job where I worked 60 to 70 hours a week. Michelle had a job where she was in finance. Like then she had college work where she had to study. She did her master's where she had to study until midnight and things like that. We had no time to do this business. But you know what? We hated being separate. We hated being traveling all week long, staying in some mediocre hotels in the suburbs with I remember one of them had ants going up the walls. The hotel food at midnight is not good. Let me tell you that. Right? One time I literally bought a new pair of slacks, and then I was traveling for 3 weeks for the job, and I came back and the slacks didn't even fit me anymore. Because from all the garbage hotel food that I've eaten. We hated that. We hated not having vacations. We hated not being able to be together. We hated not, I didn't even like the industry I was in. I'm not a software expert. Alex is our software expert. He designed the investment dominator. He runs the investment dominator, right? So I got nothing to do basically on the software. He runs this entire thing on the software side of things. So but what we did, we saw my dad aging. Like we basically used all those reasons to stack them on top of it, so that when I got home tired, it was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. We just got 2 deals under contract. It's Friday night. Michelle literally would pick me up on the airport. We would go jump in the car, drive 3 hours, stay in some motel something with like cockroaches and stuff overnight, so that Saturday morning we would be able to go look at properties. Back then when we looked at properties. Now we don't look at it anymore, right? And then we would go look at properties all day long, and then sleep in the same $35 motel again. Then the next day we would look at properties all again. And then we would drive back home. I would sleep a night. At 5 in the morning I'd get up and I go on an airplane again, and I go work at my job again until 10 p.m. at night. At 10 p.m. at night I would go into my hotel room and I would start working on marketing and things like that. Because the reason why was so strong that nothing could keep us from moving this forward, even though we're working 60 and 70 hours a week. Now today you don't have to go travel to see these properties anymore. You don't have to do all those, jump through those hoops anymore. But you still need to find that extra couple of hours here and there in order to move your business forward. And you won't do it if you don't have a big enough why. So make sure that why is really strong. So with that said, let's do it one more time. Let's spend 2 minutes looking through your goals and whys. And then also what I want to, you already done that actually. So what I want you to do is actually get up right now. Everyone get up and just literally go find somebody you have not yet talked to and share your why with that person. Did that help you guys? Like seeing other people's visions, other people's whys, right? Yeah, so that gives you inspiration for your own, because we're sometimes so locked in our world that we don't even think about some of the tolerations that we have, some of the things in life that we're silently putting up with that we could use as fuel to bring ourselves forward, right? So with that said, let's watch another video. This morning is the video morning here.
The Marines have a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And that's just real. At the center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating. It's not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest. Every day, we are choosing shit that's not in our own best interest. Right? So if the world is attacking you and the world wants to fight you and the world's trying to hold you down, so you're going to kick yourself in the balls? So you're going to stop yourself from getting what you dream. Self-discipline is the center of all material success. You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
That is before he slapped the person. I know. He lost with that. He lost a little bit of his authority and credibility after he slapped the person. But the thing, because obviously he did not show self-discipline there, but it's a perfect example. You know what happens when you don't have self-discipline, right? It can go down the hill very, very quickly, right? With one slap on public television. But with that said, again, it's very simple. Life is binary. You're either playing offense or defense. You're either positive or negative. Are there problems? Yes. There are lots of problems in life, right? But in the great scope of things in this world, like an entire globe, there's billions of people who would love to trade their problems for yours, right? There's billions of people who don't have clean water, don't have food, don't have shelter, don't have medical care, don't have anything. Like we are, if you're making $35,000 a year right now, you belong to the 1% top earners on the globe, because that includes all the billions that live on $1 a day, right? So the thing is, are there problems? Yes. But at the same time, we're living in the greatest of all times. Like we're living the greatest of all times. Yes, AI and robotics and automation and things like that will take a ton of people's jobs, but only if you just want to sit and live in a world that never changes. Well, that hasn't worked for the people in the Industrial Revolution. That hasn't worked for the people in any kind of with times of change. So what you need to do is you need to be ready to be changed. You need to embrace it, because at the same time, it's actually with all this technologies coming up, flipping land is going to be even simpler over time. It's going to be even more facilitated by technology. It's going to be even more, and the technology is even easier to use. Like, I remember the days when we wanted to send out letters, the mailing houses that we found had a minimum of 10,000 mail pieces to send out. So what did you want to do if you want to send out 2,000 mail pieces? Print it at home. So how do you print it at home without an investment dominator? You had to open Microsoft Word, you had to open Microsoft Excel, you had to study 25 tutorials on how to do a mail merge that would fail 8 out of 10 times. And then after 3 hours of working on that, you finally were able to mail merge those letters and print them out at your home printer. And then you had to fold them, stuff them, seal them, and stamp them and put them out in the mail. Right? Now you press 4 buttons and you send them out to one of our partners through the investment dominator, and your mail goes out. Like, those are the things, like, you needed a PhD in computer science to be able to do that back then. Now you need to be able to follow a 10-minute tutorial that really is, or a 2-minute tutorial, and press a few buttons. Right? That is the future. We're living in the best of all times. But the question is, which one of those two are you? And I'm going to actually narrate myself, because it's very, very foul language here in this one here. Look at that. This is like... This is a lioness that's looking at a whole bunch of buffet of wildebeest that are running by. She's like, okay, which one do I take? I can't make up my mind. Look at that. So I take this one. This one looks tasty. Oh, how about that one? Oh, that's like, I don't know. Which one do I go for? Like, I have analysis paralysis. Let's go. I see this is working. There's lots of food in front of me. There's lots of proof in front of me. But what am I going to do? Which one do I take? Help, help, help. I don't know what to do. And at some point of time, it's like in the next few seconds, something really interesting is going to happen, because she can't make up her mind. She's sitting there like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Help. It's like, this one, no, this one is too fast. This one is too slow. This one is too big. This one is too small. This one looks good. Now, and the other one comes in, let's come, screw it. Let's just take it. Right? Let's just take it. Right? So the question is here, guys, which one of those are you? Right? Which one of those is you? Right? Which one of them are you? Are you the one that is analysis paralysis? Guess what? You're going to go hungry. You're going to go hungry. Nothing's going to happen being on the sidelines. You want to be that lion that jumps in and grabs it. So if you want a great vision, you got to get out of a limited environment. Right? You got to get out of an environment that is limiting you. Right? You got to get, and sometimes that environment is extremely close to you. Sometimes that environment is in your family. And it doesn't mean we should love our family less. It just means you spend less time with them. You know, those are some of the reasons why immigrants are so successful in any country they go to, is that they almost get like a brand new start. You come to another country and you leave everything behind. You can reinvent yourself. You can start from scratch. There's nobody telling you you can't do it. There's nobody telling you who do you think you are? What do you think you're doing? And instead, you just go and do things. Well, if you are not an immigrant, but you're living in the same community, then you need to engineer that same situation. You need to very simply say, when it's bunko night, or bowling night, or just drinking with a friend's night, and you have stuff to do to bring your business forward, you need to say, you know what, I can't, I have a prior commitment today. And that prior commitment is with whom? Yourself. Right? That prior commitment is with your business. That prior commitment is with your vision. That prior commitment is with your view, with your why. That prior commitment is the commitment you've given to yourself to go to those 4 C's, as I mentioned.